Hello, welcome to EDU 6510. My name is Dr. Amy Bergstrom, and I am the faculty member that's going to be facilitating the teaching and learning in this course over the next 16 weeks that we have together. In this short presentation, I'm going to do a really brief overview of the course, some of the things you can expect, some of the topics we're going to delve into, and some of the technology tools we're going to be using. So the books for the course, which I hope you have in hand, Different Schools for a Different World and The Flat World in Education are really coincide with sort of research agendas and topics. So The Flat World in Education is written by Dr. Linda Darling-Hammond, Faculty Emeritus at Stanford University, whose research really looks at school equity and the importance of really understanding the big picture of the field of education, which is exciting because that's really what we're going to be doing in the context of this course. The Different Schools for a Different World text, however, really drills down into what is referred to as deeper learning schools. So I hope you're going to find the two very complementary. Different Schools is a very practical text, which I know for those of you that are teachers, we love the practicality of put something in our hands and use it right away. However, good practice is always informed by good research, and Darling-Hammond's text is really what you're going to see grounded in research methodology around best practices in education. So just quickly, the course is set up to go, you'll see 8 lessons in the Blackboard course shell. Each lesson runs over a 2-week time frame. Familiarize yourself with the left-hand navigation. Most of the things you're going to need to be successful in the course, you're going to find in that left-hand navigation. Majority of the work that we do over the course of the semester is going to be asynchronously. However, please be looking for scheduled Zoom sessions where we will have synchronous class meetings. I, however, do not require you to attend the synchronous class meetings, but I highly encourage you to do so. The content that we cover, you're responsible for. The meetings will be recorded for your review thereafter, but practice and history has told me that students find these to be very helpful, and it also is really fun to be able to see each other live in person, and also to meet your colleagues and classmates that are in the class with you. So course assignments, I like to do a really brief kind of overview in terms of looking at this. You will be doing an e-discussion. One of the things I've asked you to do in the first lesson is to do what I call a practice discussion. Okay, the learning APA writing style can be tricky and it's new to people, so please be patient with yourself. But I've set up a discussion where I want you to really look at the grading checklist for e-discussions and answer the discussion as though it was graded. So you get an opportunity to really think deeply about, how would I cite according to APA? What are some examples I would use from my practice to support my ideas? And then how do I bring it all together, whether it's be remainder questions that you might have or things you want to implement in your practice. So lesson 1, let's get our feet wet and try a discussion that follows the grading checklist, because I have found in the past that students have a lot of angst about academic writing, and I don't want that to get in the way of your good ideas. So don't let that. So do the best you can, and we'll work with it from there. Every discussion after lesson 1, however, is graded using the rubric. But I found it's an important step for us to get to do a trial run with the writing and with the citing. You will be asked to do an initial response to a posted question and or questions. You will also be asked to do a follow-up to another person's discussion. Again, as I've mentioned, there are graded and ungraded discussions. This is graduate level work, so you are going to be asked to engage in academic discourse and engage with your peers and work at building community, and not all of those efforts will be graded. Also be using a cool tool called VoiceThread. Some of you may have already done your introductions using the tool, so that's a lot of fun. And for those social media gurus who love social media, we're going to be using Twitter. For those of you who dislike social media, take a deep breath, think about the love of learning, one of our Benedictine values, and we're gonna dive in and use Twitter, and we're gonna be using it as an exploratory tool within the context of our professional development. Also have an opportunity to do a few other assignments, one deeply connected to the McLeod and Sharesky text, the different schools assignment. You'll be doing a current issue future trend assignment and a school interview. And I want you to think more broadly about school. Some of you might be in a higher ed setting, so we'll be thinking about education, not just in the K-12 setting, but also in higher ed. Those assignments that are asterisked, you have the opportunity to do them with a partner. Please, however, you do need to get my permission before you launch into it with a partner. But I like to think about how we can engage with each other in meaningful work, and this is an opportunity also for you to get to know some of the cohort members that are in the class. Okay, so with that, I want to reiterate the importance of communication. I have found working with graduate students and undergrads in my duration working in education, and specifically in higher ed, communication is key. I also want you to know that I'm very, very serious about, please reach out to me, because I know life happens. You're adult learners. You have responsibilities outside of this class, although sometimes I think we as faculty would like to think we're the only thing going on in our students' lives. That's not the case, and we know that. But in my situation, I like to make sure that my students are communicating with me. So if something happens and you're going to need more time on an assignment or something, then what I need you to do is reach out to me, because I'm more than happy to extend a deadline. I would much rather have you turn in something you feel good about and that you're proud of than turn in something you don't feel great about just to meet a deadline. So don't find yourself on an island looking around asking for help and hoping somebody hears you. Please reach out, because that is just my style, but it's also really, I believe, a Benedictine value that we collectively share as part of this learning community. So with that, I want to give you another warm welcome to class, and I look forward to teaching and learning with you over the course of this semester.